Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Lorraine Coyne. I'm a Hopi tribal member from Northeast Arizona. I'm sitting out here, way out in the back of Loop, and I was just thinking about all the times that I came out here to register people during elections, and I was right across at the distribution center, 7 a.m. daylight time until 7 p.m. And it was so incredible. So I'm very happy to meet each and every one of you. You may have seen me yesterday or on YouTube on the IRC meeting. Was scary, but I had to do it. I wanted my voice to be heard, so I did it. And after I did it, I thought to myself that wasn't so bad. So just want to thank everybody for giving me a chance to be here.
Thank you, Lorraine, for joining us. And yes, redistricting is hot on our minds. And I can just tell you, Lorraine's testimony was powerful. It was power. You're fierce, girl. She has her shirt too that says fierce. And that's exactly what she did yesterday, was just live up to that. Lorraine, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your experience with registering to vote yourself. And of course, what's the changes you've seen on Hopi?
Okay, it wasn't until I was in my 50s that I actually first registered to vote. I registered in 2014, was the very first time I registered to vote. I'm 64 years old now. So, you know, it was just overwhelming. When I was in high school, I didn't think twice about registering to vote when I turned 18. I just took everything for granted. And so a lot of my hesitation about registering to vote went back to my grandparents, their teachings. So I'm taking all of that into consideration. I just never registered to vote. I was scared of what the government would do to me once they found out I was registered to vote. So, just looking back and having my own kids and my own grandkids, I said, I have to do something. I have to register to vote. I need to have my voice be heard. My voice counts. My vote also counts because there are needs out here on the Hopi Reservation. So I decided that I wanted to register to vote. And then I got approached by the county Democrats, and they were looking for someone, and my name was referred to them by the Hopi elections office because I work a lot of elections. And there I'm not really registered. Well, I guess maybe I am, because you have to be a member of the Hopi tribe to vote in the Hopi tribal elections. And I had worked a lot of those for a number of years. So the elections office knew that I could carry on this task. So my name was submitted. And I was really surprised that I got hired on to work with the Democrats. So it was during Ann Kirkpatrick's time as Congresswoman out here that I started working. And it really opened my eyes, and I was like, wow. And after that time, I just kept going. I was scheduled to go to all these Diné nations, Navajo nations, and they do their agendas different. I, present my agenda, and if it was approved, then I would get on there for their meetings. A lot of times, everything was in Navajo. Here I am, one lonely Hopi sitting in front of all these Diné people. I couldn't speak a word of Navajo, but there was always someone in the crowd that would come and help me interpret what I was trying to get out to the people, the resolutions, everything. And for that, I've been thankful. I traveled all over up to Page, down to the way to the northern part of the Arizona. And it was scary coming home at night by myself, but I did it. Sometimes I wouldn't get home until 1 o'clock in the morning. My husband would be on the phone asking me if I was okay. I'm okay. To get people to register to vote. Yes, I did. It was successful. That made me really happy. And just knowing that I was coming out there and doing my job really made me happy. Then we, the Hopi tribe has never really been a big part of politics, although we do have our own Hopi tribal government. I went out for the 2020 elections. Prior to that time, in 2016, when I was doing elections, we only had 897 people, Hopi people, come to register, come to vote for the Hopi. I mean, not in Navajo County for the general elections. And at that time, I thought the numbers were good because in 2014, when I went out to Palaca, First Mesa area, I stayed out there all day and I only had 2 people registered to vote. 2 people. And I came home crying. I was so disappointed in my people. And I just came home crying and I told myself things will get better. I just need to get out there, spread the word. Don't give up. I'm going to go full force. So that was in 2016 when we had 897 Hopi people vote in the elections. And that was our number from the Navajo County Recorder's Office. And I said, you know, there's a lot of us Hopis out here. How can I get them to, you know, go vote? How can I get them to register? And I had my family members really help me. I went out day after day, sitting under my canopy, holding rallies, giving out water, telling people the importance of voting. Well, in 2020, for the general elections, we had 3,272 Hopi people registered to vote. I was so overwhelmed. Out of that, 1,749 people came to vote. And that was the biggest number I ever got. And it was a real accomplishment for me. You know, I started crying and I told Misa, it just goes to show that we did our job out here. We went out and spread the word. We did our job. So this year, even though pandemic was here, I was still going out, calling people every day. Remember, we turned Arizona blue. Let's keep it blue. You guys have a new 18-year-old that I need to register. If you need help registering, call me. Let me know. I can come and help you, or I can walk you through the instructions on the phone. I got a lot of callbacks. Then I got this teamed up with Janie, Misa, Casey, Jonathan, Marion. Awesome group. Cheryl has always been there to be a big help. Steve is just incredible. All of my team has been incredible. I have a little 10-year-old great-granddaughter. When she was 7 years old, she registered to vote. And I still have her registration form. She still needs 11 more years, but she's ready to register to vote. And she keeps on telling everybody at school that she's a Democrat. And her grandma does this, registering registering voters out there. So she helps me spread the word. That little girl is so in love with Tom O'Halloran. So I just wanted to share that with you. But I think the message that we got out there yesterday at the IRC meeting you know, we're not gonna, we don't want to be combined with um, and that was a strong message that we got out there. There was 5 of us that gave our testimony, and so hopefully they will listen to us. But as I always said, you know, voting is our fundamental right, and it should be made easier for all of us, not harder. So I just want to thank everybody for listening to me and giving me time. Asquale.